Tonight we have another episode of Impact Wrestling on AXSTV, another loaded episode of Impact Wrestling after last week's huge episode. Impact Wrestling last week was main evented with an Impact World Championship match between Eric Young and Eddie Edwards, and Eric Young shocked the world and shocked social media when he became the new Impact World Champion, defeating Eddie Edwards with a little bit of help from his hockey mask. I've done a couple videos at this point speaking about Eric Young. And Eric Young to me is he's world class right now in Impact Wrestling. He's the best thing going. He's the biggest heel in Impact. There's so much good surrounding Eric Young right now in Impact, and it was absolutely the right call for Impact Wrestling to switch the world title and put it on Eric Young. It'll be interesting to see what is next when it comes to Eric Young. Right now, as the Impact World Champion, he is going to be kicking off Impact Wrestling on AXS TV tonight. I'm sure we'll have something involving Eddie Edwards as well. I don't think, given that he defeated Eddie Edwards in, shaky circumstances, he hit him with the hockey mask, and once the match was done, he continued to attack Eddie Edwards. So I think maybe we'll have an Eric Young versus Eddie Edwards confrontation. Let's face it, at some point we're going to get Eddie Edwards versus Eric Young, the rematch. I don't think that's going to happen at Bound for Glory or anything like that. I think it's very, very likely we see Eric Young versus Rich Swan in the main event of Bound for Glory. I actually did a video about the main event plans for Bound for Glory earlier today, so be sure to check that out on the channel. I'll put a link in the description box below for that. So I'm very fascinated. I'm absolutely fascinated to see where this is going with Eric Young. I was very, very pleased last week when they switched the world title to Eric Young. As I mentioned, I can't praise him enough for his work recently in Impact Wrestling. Criminally misused by WWE. You look at the work he's done since returning to the company at Slammiversary, whether it was the attack of Rich Swann in that match, whether it's the attack of Rich Swann during the Rich Swann retirement speech, the promos, the Bound for Glory advertisement with Eric Young at the moment is just absolutely brilliant. It really is absolutely brilliant. It's so well shot and well produced. So I'm excited to see what he says tonight. I think Eric Young, we know his ability as a promo as well, and his character work recently. I think that's the real impressive thing, is that Eric Young is so dialed into this character right now that he has just got it completely locked in, and he knows exactly what this character would be thinking and would be doing. And credit to the Impact Wrestling officials, the likes of Don Callis and Scott D'Amore, the way that Eric Young has been booked so far since returning to Impact Wrestling just has been pure perfection. It really has been pure perfection. So Eric Young kicks off Impact tonight. Now, there's obviously a few ways they could do this. He either does the opening promo of the show, and it's just bragging about, I told you so, look at me, I've returned to Impact back in July, and come September, I'm already the world champion once again. I've proved that I'm the best in the world, I've proved I'm the best in the company, I am a world-class maniac, and I'm your new Impact World Champion, something to that effect. But there's a couple of other things we could see. Of course, Eddie Edwards could come out. We could have a brawl. Maybe we see Rich Swann on the screen. I don't think, again, I wouldn't want Rich Swann to return to Impact yet. I think he still needs to salve the ankle injury, right? The guy only retired a couple of weeks ago, and during his retirement speech, or after his retirement speech, he was attacked by Eric Young. So I think he still needs to salve that injury. So perhaps we just get a promo, but even if it is just a promo and it continues the character, continues the development of this new version of Eric Young in Impact Wrestling, I'm all for it. I was very, very happy that they switched the world title last week, so I'm fascinated to see where they go with Eric Young next. So what else are we going to see tonight on Impact Wrestling? Well, we're going to see an Impact World Tag Team Championship match. We're going to have Impact World Tag Team Champions, the Motor City Machine Guns, defending against the Rascals. We're going to have Dez and Wentz of the Rascals facing off against the Motor City Machine Guns. Very, very excited for this match. Massive, massive potential with the Rascals. We know their ability. I thought their match last week, when they scored a huge upset victory over Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, I was surprised to see that. I was surprised to see that because, once again, and this fact is kind of switching back to the Eric Young situation, there was this report from Fightful last week about the plans for Bound for Glory, and one of those matches that had been penciled in for Bound for Glory was a fatal four-way tag team match for the World Tag Team Championship. It was the Motor City Machine Guns defending against Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, defending against the North, and the Good Brothers. So I thought, given that the Rascals were facing Ace Austin and Madman Fulton last week, I was thinking, okay, Ace Austin and Madman Fulton are going to win. This kickstarts the feud as we go into Bound for Glory. So I was surprised, pleasantly surprised, to see the Rascals get the win there. Big fan of the Rascals' talent. I think their chemistry in the ring and outside the ring, you can tell they're very good friends in real life. That translates incredibly well into the ring. Their high-flying ability matches really well with the Motor City Machine Guns. Obviously, the Motor City Machine Guns offense has altered and evolved over the years. They don't do everything that they used to do. They still do a lot of it. But given Chris Sabin's had torn ACLs in both knees, twice now? I mean, it's a miracle he's wrestling at all. I think the fact that he can still work to the ability that he can is just absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, very excited for this one. Of course, as well, this is a Slammiversary rematch. The Motor City Machine Guns made their return to Impact Wrestling at Slammiversary, answering the open challenge of the Rascals. And the Motor City Machine Guns won that match. So, it's nice to see that we're going to see a Slammiversary rematch tonight on Impact Wrestling on AXSTV. Very excited for this one. The tag team division in Impact Wrestling is really getting better and better and better, and it's an absolute pleasure to see, because the North really did carry that division for about a year as the tag team champions. But now we have some more and more great tag teams coming in. We have the Motor City Machine Guns, we have the Rascals, we have the North, we have Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. I don't know if they're a traditional tag team. I think Ace Austin has a lot of potential in the main event scene. But you've also got the likes of Triple XL, the Dinas, TJP, and his tag team partner. So I'm very excited. If I had to predict this one, I don't think the Rascals are going to win here. I think the Motor City Machine Guns will stay tag team champions until Bound for Glory. And I think the Good Brothers, in my opinion, that's when the Good Brothers are going to become tag team champions in Impact. So I think the Motor City Machine Guns are going to retain here. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun to watch, and I'm very excited to see it. Support for Wrestle News 365 is brought to you by Manscaped, who is the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. Now, Manscaped, for all of my UK fans out there, Manscaped just launched in the UK. Over here in the United Kingdom, we have gone for years and years and years without using the right tools for the job. But now you can be one of the first men in England to experience their life-changing product. But it's not just limited to all of the great fans over here in the UK. This offer goes worldwide, so all of my friends over in America and around the world that are listening to this offer still does apply for you. You can still use our code. But I've got to tell you a quick story first. Now, there have been so many times, right? I'm a guy. You gotta groom down there, fellas, right? That's the most important thing. You gotta keep yourself trimmed, you gotta keep yourself proper, and a lot of the time I've been guilty of this, of using the wrong tools for the job. I've had incidences, I'm not afraid to say it, where things have been nicked, snagged, or in fact cut down there because I wasn't being careful enough and using the right equipment. Now that just shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. You don't want to be worrying about cutting yourself down there. Do you know how painful that is? I can tell you, it hurts quite a lot, and I wish and hope to God it never happens to me again, and it won't happen to me ever again because I'm using Manscaped products. That's why Manscaped has redesigned the electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team has perfected the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created. Big statement, but it's absolutely true. They have just released the new and improved Lawnmower 3.0 in the UK. It's also available around the world as well. Their third generation trimmer features a cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. So those cuts and snags that I was telling you about before are a thing of the past. And let me tell you, when I tell you this is premium, I mean premium. The battery will last up to 90 minutes so you can get a longer, perfect shave. And not only that, you don't want to be cutting yourself and trimming yourself all over the bathroom, getting hair all over the place. That's just disgusting. The lawnmower has a waterproof technology that allows you to groom in the shower, so no more mess. And one of the coolest features, one of my favorite features about the lawnmower, is the LED light which illuminates grooming areas for a closer and more precise trimming experience. So you can shave longer, you can shave more precisely, and you can shave in the shower. What more did I need to tell you? They've also upgraded to a 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology, and let's not forget about the charging stand. You can show off your mower loud and proud because this intelligently designed stand is a convenient charging dock powered by USB. So, if you are listening to me speak right now, I want you to experience it firsthand for yourself. Let's get that bush to tush clean, and you can get 20% off and free shipping. Yeah, you heard me right there. 20% off and free shipping. All you have to do is use the code 365wrestle at manscaped.com. Make your testes their besties. That's 20% off and free shipping. Not only are you getting 20% off, you're getting free shipping as well with the code 365wrestle at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com, and use the code 365wrestle. Your balls will thank you. So, we also have Moose in search of EC3 and the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. Now, at Impact Emergence, EC3 attacked Moose and stole the TNA World Heavyweight Championship from him. Now, Moose, ever since then, has been looking around for the TNA World Heavyweight title, but last week, what he found should be considered quite scary, after EC3 led Moose into a room riddled with pictures of him during his everyday life, during where he lives. It was the string and the photos and all of that sort of stuff. It came across like EC3 not only is this guy that's controlling his narrative, but he's actually stalking Moose at this point. So is it mind games from EC3? Is it EC3? Are we seeing some form of a double turn here? Because EC3 stealing someone's possession and being a sort of hacker and a stalker doesn't feel like a babyface to me, but then Moose is one of the biggest heels in the company right now. So look, at this point, we're going to have Moose versus EC3 at Bound for Glory. Now, obviously, the match hasn't been announced yet, but that's what we're going to get. We're going to get Moose versus EC3 for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship at Bound for Glory. It's inevitable at this point. It makes the most sense to me. So I think that tonight is going to be just a continuation of that. Will it be an appearance from EC3? I don't know. I think that the way that they're shooting this angle right now in this storyline with EC3 kind of leading Moose on a bit of a wild goose hunt is because EC3 over the last couple of weeks, he's actually been in Baltimore. He's been filming his Ring of Honor debut. He's been at the Ring of Honor taping. So I think this whole continuing the storyline without kind of seeing Moose and EC3 in the same place is a way to continue the storyline without having EC3 actually be there. So because he's at the moment, he's filming with Ring of Honor as they film their taping. So as I mentioned, we're going to get EC3 versus Moose at Bound for Glory for the TNA World Heavyweight title. I've gone on record that I think that EC3 will beat Moose for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship at Bound for Glory, and that will be the end of this TNA World Heavyweight Championship storyline. But tonight we'll probably see some more footage, maybe EC3 will go full Diamond Dallas Page, and he's been stalking Moose at home as well. We'll have to wait and see on that one. So also tonight, we'll see who is next in line for the X Division Championship opportunity. Rohit Raju is, of course, the X Division champion, won the championship at Impact Emergence. The two other men in that triple threat match will face off tonight. It's Chris Bay versus TJP, and we'll see who's going to be facing who's going to be facing Rohit Raju in the future for the X Division Championship. Now, I was very, very surprised at Impact Emergence that Chris Bay dropped the title. Obviously, he won the title at Slammiversary, and then he drops it only a couple of weeks later, similar to Eddie Edwards, right? Two of the champions that won the titles at Slammiversary now no longer have their bouts. But I have no doubts that this match between Chris Bay and TJP tonight will be a lot of fun. Everyone knows the talent of TJP from his run in WWE, his run on the Indies, and his previous run in Impact Wrestling. But I thought TJP really stood out in that Impact Emergence triple threat match. Some of the way that he had submissions and he had holds on both Chris Bay and Raju, I thought was incredibly impressive. And I do think that Chris Bay will win tonight, because I think given that he lost the title so quickly, the story's there to have the rematch at some point. And to be honest, I would get the title back on Chris Bay quite quickly. Obviously, I think Rohit Raju is a tremendous talent and a great worker, but I think Chris Bay is the type of competitor and athlete that I think Impact should build the X Division around. If you've watched any of my Impact videos when I've spoken about the X Division, you know that I've been a little bit critical, that I think it does need some improvement, the X Division in Impact. considering the history of the X Division and what it used to be in the past, it kind of has gone downhill a little bit in recent years, and that isn't the fault of the current people in the X Division. That's the result of just bad booking and mishandling of the X Division. I think it's lost a bit of identity over the years. Now, it's absolutely, there's opportunities to get it back, and I thought Chris Bay becoming the X Division champion at Slammiversary was the right way to do that. And actually, I really liked Willie Mack as the X Division champion. I thought he was the epitome of what the X Division can be in Impact Wrestling. It's not about your weight or your style. It's about having great matches and having different matches. And I thought Willie Mack was the perfect example of that. So I thought the matches between Chris Bay and Willie Mack for the X Division Championship at Slammiversary and then on the following episode of Impact Wrestling was absolutely tremendous. So get those two back in the ring. Or if you're going to have TJP and Chris Bay fight off for a future X Division Championship opportunity, why not have Willie Mack involved too? So I hopefully he'll get back involved in the future. But if I had to predict who I think is going to become the number one contender for the X Division Championship, it makes the most sense right at this point to have Chris Bay get the future opportunity. And I don't think Raju's going to have a really short title reign. I do think he'll probably hold it to maybe Bound for Glory. There have been rumors that we're going to see a 6-man kind of match at Bound for Glory for the X Division title. I would also like to see the likes of Brian Myers get involved in the X Division Championship hunt too. I think he'd be a great addition to the division. Something different, not necessarily a high flyer, your traditional kind of wrestler, but it doesn't matter. You don't have to be a high flyer to be involved in the X Division. Different styles make the X Division so appealing to watch, and that's what the X Division has been built on throughout the years. So I'm excited to see this one tonight. I think it's going to be a lot of fun between Chris Bay and TJP. So finally, we have Kylie Rae and Susie returning to the Impact Zone for a must-see locker room talk hosted by Madison Rayne. Now, obviously, last week, the cast of Wrestle House were returned to the Impact Zone after Johnny Bravo and Rosemary got engaged. I've mentioned that the whole Johnny Bravo, Rosemary part of the Wrestle House thing wasn't for me. I just think that whole thing was just a bit too much. But what I will say is I thought all of the Wrestle House segments were fantastic. Absolutely brilliant. Credit to all the people behind them, the production. I thought it was such a creative and unique way of producing television, entertaining and unique television during a pandemic. I thought we got to know all of the wrestlers involved in that so much better. Their characters evolved. Kylie Rae, Susie, Rosemary, Taya Valkyrie, the Dinas, Triple XL, even Johnny Bravo, Johnny Swinger. I thought all of it was absolutely brilliant, and a real fun way of getting to know these characters more, and a fun way of watching pro wrestling outside the traditional pro wrestling setting. Of course, Impact Wrestling still have no fans in attendance. They don't have the production of WWE where they can have the Thunderdome or they can have talent surrounding the ring because they're on a shoestring budget and they're still trying to limit the amount of people in that building at one period of time. So they can't have the whole people surrounding the ring. They're not AEW as well. They don't have Daily's Place where they can have an open venue which has 750 fans attend and have wrestlers surrounding the ring. They don't have that. So Impact Wrestling found a way. They found a way to produce creative and fun television, and that was Wrestle House. So I thought it was very, very good and a real creative way of doing that. So I'm interested to see what happens with that cast of characters now that Wrestle House is seemingly finished. Hopefully we can get it back someday. But obviously, Kylie Rae is the number one contender for the Knockouts Championship. She won the gauntlet at Slammiversary. Deonna Purrazzo, she interrupted Deonna Purrazzo last week when Wrestle House came back. But of course, Tenille Dashwood also came back last week. So there's a lot of people vying for the Knockouts Championship right now. Deonna Purrazzo has got the likes of Tenille Dashwood, Kylie Rae, and Jordynne Grace all vying for the championship. So excited for not necessarily locker room talk. I could probably take or leave that segment, but I'm excited for the Knockouts division. I think it's just such a unique selling point of Impact Wrestling right now, and such a real beacon of light for Impact. You compare it to other promotions, and their women's divisions don't even come close. So interested to see the Knockouts division as we head into Bound for Glory. But of course, as always, this is just one man's opinion. What are your thoughts on Impact Wrestling tonight? What are you looking forward to? What are your predictions for tonight's show? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll be sure to respond and reply to all of your comments. Really enjoy interacting with you guys and talking a bit about Impact Wrestling. If you've enjoyed this video, please do smash a like on the like button too. Really just help us out here on YouTube. Get into people's recommendation feeds if they haven't seen our videos before. But most importantly, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to Wrestle News 365. You can do that by clicking the bottom right hand corner of the screen right now, or if you wait a few seconds, there'll be a subscribe button at the end of this video along with another video for you to watch as we close in on 800 subscribers. So if you haven't already, please do subscribe. You can also follow us on our social media platforms. The handles are on the screen right now. The links are in the description box below. It's at 365 Wrestle on Twitter and Instagram, and at Wrestle News 365 on Facebook. So be sure to give us a like or a follow there if you haven't already. Thank you very much for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.